Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope you've enjoyed the weekend so far, and hope you're enjoying your Sunday. It was good. It was a good day yesterday for Spurs. It didn't go as well as we thought it would go, but it went as well as it needed to go. That's the way I'm going to sum up yesterday. We're going to talk through some stats, talk through some feelings about the game, and kind of where we're sitting right now. And I do want to kind of nuke a question that keeps coming up every time Spurs win or get a good result. Can they? Can they go on to win the title? I'm going to nuke that just today alone, okay? But let's talk Luton first. So, yes, yesterday, 12:30 kickoff, 1-0 away to Luton Town. It was a game that we probably should have been clear of before the sending off. We should have been 2, 3, 4 up by that time. Missed some quite easy chances. Missed some chances that maybe on another day we would have taken. You know, I mean, first 10 minutes we had 3 golden chances that, you know, had we taken maybe a couple of them, you know, it kind of opens up Luton a little bit more. We'd probably have gotten 3 or 4, you know, before half time. Would have been cruising. Yeah, the sending off was a sending off, and it was. There's no denying that, but it is something that had we been already 2 or 3 up, the second half would have been a little bit more of an easier watch for me. Okay, so let me start actually with the sending off. Okay, so Basuma, 2 bookable offences. Look, I think yesterday was a weird game. I think a lot of fans, including myself, definitely thought that this game could have been one of those refs want to get a bit more even with a team. It's not to say that they don't like a team. It's that normally when you have a lot of VAR decisions go for you, or you have a lot of referee decisions goes for you, the next game's a little bit tougher. Don't get as many decisions the next game. So, the dive is a dive. It's a blatant dive. It's a booking. He's an idiot. He is. But you know what? I'm not going to crucify him for it, because he's had an amazing season so far. And I'm not going to let one game of 8 ruin 7 others of the 8, you know? It was a shame. It was a shame. But you know what? When I looked, I think it was like 79% possession. By the sort of early on in the second half, we were up to 82% possession before the goal. Yes, Luton had a lot more of the ball come after the goal, where we kind of, not maybe sat back as such, but we kind of allowed them to come onto us a bit more. Even still, I would still sit here and say, yeah, we were still the better team regardless, you know. There's some good chances in the second half, but you look, against 10 men, you're always going to have a good chance or two. It's about taking them. And I wouldn't say we got away with it whatsoever. I mean, you know, I think we had 67% possession away from home with 10 men. That's not bad whatsoever, you know. We had more shots than them. We had more shots on target. We had more corners. You know, we had 553 passes to their 252. Look, I think this game was never going to be, for Luton, a game that defines their season. Their season is more defined with the teams that came up with them, teams that are going to be in the bottom half of the table. You know, maybe can we sneak a point here and there against a big boy or two? It's a bonus, but we need to worry about the teams that are around us. You know, I wouldn't call them 6-pointers this early on in the season, but, you know, the games that if you were playing the 32nd game of the season would be deemed a 6-pointer. So I don't think Luton will leave that game being upset. I think they'll leave the game going, oh, imagine if we got a draw at least, you know, 10 men Spurs. But I don't think they're going to shoot themselves too much over a game where, let's be honest, when you're playing top 6 club, when you're team down there, you're just praying not to get beaten too heavily, normally. You know, and the way Spurs have come into that game where, yeah, we're probably quite high in form. You know, every game leading into that game in the Premier League, we'd scored 2 in every single game. You know, you're probably thinking, well, we're going to need at least 2 to get a point here. Ironically, you only needed 1. 2 would have gotten you the win. But let's talk a little bit about the team that played yesterday. So the team yesterday was unchanged. So Vicario in goal, Desi Adogi, Van der Ven, Romero, Porro at the back, Basuma, Sarr, Maddison in midfield, Ritchie, Son and Kulu up front. Now, we were dealing with injuries from, you know, Brennan Johnson being injured. You know, we were dealing with Manuel Solomon's long-term injury, Brian Hill's only just coming back. So in terms of attacking options, what you saw start was kind of what we had. Brian Hill could come on and maybe give you 10, 15 minutes. Alejo Veliz, maybe something similar. But you were never going to get big chunks of minutes out of them because it's a bit too early. Now, we didn't see Brian Hill against Luton because the game started to kind of go one way. It was about defending, digging deep. When we do get the ball, getting the ball upfield, allowing the back line to kind of get towards the halfway line. But it just wasn't one of those games. It's not the end of the world. It really isn't the end of the world. It would have been his first game back, this season. There'll be plenty of opportunities coming in afterwards from the international break. I think the thing that we all kind of see as Spurs fans, depth is still an issue. And it is, but, we can't focus on depth right now. We're sitting, October 8th. We've still got 3 months nearly until the transfer window. We need to get on with this. The whole excuse of we don't have a lot of depth, we just need to get on with it now because we can't do anything about it. What we have is what we have. We can't add to it. We can't subtract from it. Well, you can, I guess, subtract from it, but you get what I mean. You can't move players out of the club right now. So, yes, the midfield Basuma, obviously the sending off wasn't great. I thought Maddison still played well. I thought my standout player for me was Mickey van der Ven in defence, absolute juggernaut in defence. Obviously scored the winning goal as well, kept a clean sheet. Can't ask much more as a defender from that. But the other one I would say is Kulusevski. I thought we really utilised the ball out to him on the right when he's in space to allow us to just get upfield. He travelled with the ball very, very well, dragged us up quite a lot of times up the pitch to allow everyone to sort of come up with him. But actually, I want to give a bit of a shout out to a player that came off the bench. And a player that I've been talking about that might be leaving is Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was, yes, the system doesn't suit him. But in a game like that, I've always spoken about it. If you're 1-0 up, you're 2-0 up, you want to hold on to a lead. If you're down to 10 men, you need to preserve a lead or something like that, or add more defensive stability. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg's your man. And he showed what he has to offer. And what he has to offer is someone that we don't really have a lot of. Maybe a more defensive-minded midfielder, but, I think he definitely did show his value to the team, in the last game. Now, obviously, to give you an update on the Basuma situation, yes, he misses the next game, which is the Fulham game. So I'd expect to see Højbjerg play in the Fulham game. Now, a lot of people have asked about the whole, look, he was going into the game, he had 4 bookings right this season. 1 more means he misses a game. He got the 1 more. He was already going to miss the Fulham game. What about the sending off? So the rules are basically once you have 2 bookable offences to make a sending off, the bookings get cleared and it becomes a sending off. So he misses a 1-game ban for the 2 bookable offences and the sending off, right? He still is technically on 4 bookings for the season. So yes, he will miss the Fulham game, but he potentially could be back for the Crystal Palace game. But also, if he picks up a booking that game, would miss the Chelsea game. You see what I mean? So the yellows kind of offset themselves into a red so that way he has no yellows basically given to him from yesterday, if that makes sense. But I think all in all, guys, it was a good, solid team performance. And the thing is, those sort of games where you beat a big team, and I'm going to be honest, Spurs have been getting a little bit of slack for, they beat a big team, they play someone who's not as big the next game, they lose. And let's be honest, guys, that is quite a common thing. We do lose that next game. So we'd won that game. We also went down to 10 men and we won with 10 men. And do you know what, for me, that was another indicator that we have improved, we have progressed. We're a little bit more like a big club that we used to be. Says that. Let me talk about this whole can they? I know you're not thinking it. You know I'm not thinking it. Together, we know that everyone else is thinking it. So as Spurs fans, we aren't thinking it. No, there's always going to be a minority that you win your first game of the season, you're like, look, we're on title charge. But there's always that fan, right? That's the hopeless romantic of potentially ever winning a Premier League. When I talk to us a little bit more in the real world, the truth is we're not thinking about the Premier League. We're thinking about let's continue playing good football, let's continue improving on this system because, hey, we've played 9 competitive games in this new Ange Ball system. We need at least another 10 to 12 games to really feel like we have a system that is running as smooth as we would maybe want it to be. You know, come January time, I might have an idea of what Angeball truly looks like. We might be only seeing second and third and fourth gear. What does fifth gear truly look like? You know, what does a consistent fourth gear look like? You get what I mean? So I know that you're not thinking it. You know I'm not thinking it. It's just opposition fans talking it up. So if it doesn't work, they can say, they bottled it again. Lads, don't get infuriated by opposition fans when it comes to these things. Don't get triggered. Don't bite for the bait. We, as fans, were hoping for a good season. Hopefully get top four again. Maybe a cup run, but play good football. And so far, we're ticking that last one off. We're playing good football. And we're sitting top of the league, so we're definitely in that top four. Things aren't bad, okay? Things aren't bad. But we have to keep our foot down. Going into this international break now, we've got to pray that all the lads come back fit and healthy. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Just a quick one, because I'm heading out to watch the 2 o'clocks and 4:30 kickoffs. A little bit of the NFL as well. You know, I like me some American football. Drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Hit me in the comment section below around your thoughts and feelings about the game yesterday. What do you take away from that game? And are you the hopeless romantic think we're going to win the title? If not, tell me that you're not. I want to know. I want to know. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.